Came out to my family, it was at the dinner table, and I said, could you pass the bread, and by the way, I'm gay. In the gay world, everyone looks at you and looks and thinks this, that or the other. In a performance space, I would constantly walk into auditions and be told what was wrong with me. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is beautiful in their way, even if they don't see it. Don't stop. I had that period in life when I do, you're gonna constantly hit walls where you're told no. Constantly be told, oh, you shouldn't look like this or be like this. Constantly be told, do something else or do this. Don't stop.
Happy Pride.
It's pride.
It's so good to finally do something together. I want to start by going back in time
Okay.
and relive that first moment that you felt the notion of pride. Not just proud about yourself, but that connection with community and a sense of belonging and a sense of pride.
It would be actually one of my, not my first Pride March that I went to in St Kilda on Fitzroy Street, but the idea of community and the idea of what that meant. When I was young, I was going to queer spaces, going to a gay bar. I'd go with my straight female friends and they'd take me to places just to try and figure out what I enjoyed, what I liked, or just because they were the places that would let them in when they were underage. But figuring out what pride meant, I remember going to my first Pride March and just being really overwhelmed. And overwhelmed because I didn't realise there was this many gay and lesbian people of different ages, and there's many, but I didn't realise it, and different ages and abilities. Some were riding bikes, some were dancing, and all this different stuff, and I suddenly realised there was this whole world and community that I didn't know about and wasn't a part of. And a couple of weeks earlier, this was all during Midsummer, and a couple of weeks earlier there'd been a big celebration in Federation Square. And there was everyone together there, and it was so exciting to be surrounded by all these other people that are a part of the same community as me, but I had no idea. You know, we were just running around like crazy and laughing and having a good time, but it wasn't until I went to a Pride March and actually saw those people in the community again, saw the different ages, the older people, the younger people, that I started to just feel so, pride's not the right word, but just feel so welcomed and safe, and that this was a part of what I belonged to.
You see the many versions of yourself.
Well, you see that you're a part of this amazing big queer picture that I never would have realised that I was a part of. You think that you're alone, you know that there are other queer people, you know there are other gay people, but you think you're stuck in your own little suburban bedroom and that's all there is. And then when I was getting out in the world and seeing all these other things, suddenly I was like, wow. But it wasn't till one of those moments where it was something that was about community. It was about the community celebrating being seen, and it was everyone just being them.
So how did it get from that moment to what you do now? Because my understanding of you is like comedy, outrageous performances, body positivity.
I tick a few boxes.
Yeah.
I call myself a busy homosexual, you know. Yeah.
Gays don't do things, right? So how did you get from that moment and to today?
I think I'm really lucky in the way in which my parents raised me, where if you're going to do something, give it your all. And if you're going to do something, do it with all your heart.
But when you came out to them, if you ever did they
No, I
say
did.
that? Did they say
When
that?
I came out to my family, it was at the dinner table, and I said, could you pass the bread, and by the way, I'm gay. I didn't know how to do it, so I did it in possibly what I reckon could be one of the hardest ways for parents to...
Did they give you the bread?
Oh, they gave me the bread, and then there were lots of conversations, and then there were lots of questions that went for a few days. I'm very lucky. I know some other people haven't had amazing experiences with their coming out
Because your
stories.
background is Italian.
It's Italian, but I knew my parents loved me, and I went on this defense of, I know you love me, I'm just letting you know that I like guys, and it's okay if you don't like it. I was very practical about it, which I think made it 10 times harder for my family because they were just like, but we want to, we want to ask questions, we want to be concerned, but I think I made it that little bit more difficult because you never really think about
And now it's all out there.
And now it's out there and everywhere, and it's just a part of everything. They're just used to seeing it everywhere now.
We haven't properly met before.
Yeah, we've always been in
We've
circles.
always been in similar places, a Joy or a club or a performance online. But I want to tell you that you've helped me embrace the belly. And I don't mean pork belly, I mean this belly.
This belly.
Yeah. For me, that's important, that more people are out there. And I really want to know how you got there.
Well, this is the only body I've got. In the gay world, everyone looks at you and looks and thinks this, that, or the other. In a performance space, I would constantly walk into auditions and be told what was wrong with me. And I had to make a decision about my life with what am I going to change and what I'm going to do. Also, as I get older, the hair gets greyer and the belly got bigger. And there's things that we can do to change that. But we can't, the only person who can change what's in the inside is us. And I love performing. I love performing in Lycra. I love going out wearing a crop top.
Oh, you should have worn that. I can see you got the memo, you got...
I should have worn a crop top. I should have worn a crop top. And I love doing...
Come back.
I love doing that because I love who I am. Yeah. And sometimes people have a go at me because they think I'm trying to force my body into their face, but that's actually about me. It's about me being happy and comfortable with myself. Everyone can look at themselves in a mirror and see something they don't like. Everyone can look at themselves and go, well, there's something I can change. We all do, whether it's the hair on your head. I mean, do I love, would I like my body to be different? Yes. Am I putting the work in to do it? No, but I'm certainly not ashamed of the body in which I have, and I'm certainly not ashamed about the person in which I am. And that's the most important thing, because everyone's body is theirs. Everyone's body is different. Whether you've got big feet, a big belly, a thin belly, hair you hate, everyone has things they don't like, but everybody's beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is beautiful in their way, even if they don't see it. And I get fat shamed all the time. People don't realise they do it. It comes in a lot of different levels. But it was just like that. All of this stems from when I was young and trying to figure out the type of performer that I want to be. You know what? If I'm going to be the fat gay man standing on a stage and that's how you want to see me, that's fine. But that's not how I see me. I see me as me doing a good job and having a good time.
How did you get from the pass me the bread to what you do now? And in essence, I mean, what do you do now?
What don't I do? So I'm a performer. I fell into journalism with the editor of a couple of queer publications. I'm a photographer. I'm an advocate. Whatever I do, I base it in my passion for my communities, which is a whole lot of different things. And like I was saying, that's because of the way my parents raised me. Like, give something your all. So even in performances, I spent a lot of time as a young person trying to figure out how I was going to make my way in the space and world, and was constantly told by agents, we don't need a pizza delivery driver. We don't need, you look like a muscle person, but you're actually fat. So we can hide it with clothing, but if we need a role that you need to take the top off on, you're not going to look the right way. I never quite fitted in the box that was right. And I put a lot of work into, I'm a kid with a high voice. And in performing circles, I was like, I want to make sure I won't just be cast as the gay character. And then I realized, you know what? Accepting that it's just who I am. It's not a role that I will play. I never got any of the jobs. So, it was like, it wasn't working for me anyway. But I realized that I could be who I want to be and have that be a part of everything that I do. And I guess I just kind of kept falling into it that way.
Creating your own platforms in essence.
Yeah.
When there's no representation in media and you have to fit into a little box, a tiny little box, and you're very much of a large personality.
My box is very big. My box is very big.
You just create your own boxes. I love that.
Yeah. Well, that was part of the beauty of performing. That was the part of the beauty of cabaret and comedy, is you had to create your own space and box. And I realised I was spending all this time not accepting who I was in those spaces. And the minute I did, now it's a part of everything I do.
How does that help? How does that help younger members of the community? I've seen sometimes that there's a little bit of a disconnect because the younger part of the community is very queer, very out there, has almost like no problem.
Isn't it? Well, not no problems. They've got problems, but isn't it amazing to think about the world the queer world that exists now that I never saw when I was younger?
I didn't mean no problems in the sense of no problems in the word. I meant no problems in terms of embracing their sexuality.
Yeah.
But how does the existence of the older performers with a different lived experience assist in that younger demographic?
For me, that's the journey and path that I had to go to show the performer and who I am in the world. But I'm not a gay performer. Like, for all those years I tried not to be that thing, and neither are they in the way in which they're doing things. Like, the labels are the things the rest of the world choose to put us into. But just like you were saying, what do I do and how do I do it? It's hard to identify. That's why I say busy homosexual, because I'm on the radio, I work in the media, I perform, I sing, I do drag, but I'm not just one thing.
But you consider yourself an activist?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. It's weird. It's weird to say. It's weird to say, but
That's where my question is. Like, a lot of time, everybody that has been invited in this series, we consider an activist, and but some do not identify with that because they don't realize that they actually do activism work.
I only started putting it in my email signature like a year ago because people said I had to. Yeah. It's something that not that I wasn't comfortable with it, but I look at what other people are doing and go, they're doing it better. So I feel like I would be appropriating the word if I put it in. So it's only recently that I've even started saying it because I've realised what I do and how I do it is activism as well. Yeah. It's not, there's a lot of different levels to what that means, and it's making sure the right people are heard, the right things are being seen, and the right conversations are being talked about.
There's so many different ways to change the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to tick the box.
There's no one way. There's no one way.
To make you feel proud.
So if you had a magic wand, what would you change between this interview and Pride 2021? What would you change in society?
Communication. If I could just change one thing, I'm sure if I had a wand and I could change 25 things, have I only got one option with my wand?
Give me your priority and then go through your list.
The biggest thing is communication. I think one of the hardest things we have within, because of social media and within the spaces that we all exist, everyone is now in this place where they're actually cultivating a space where they're only hearing and seeing what they want to. Mm-hmm. And that can be both a positive and a negative. And the problem with that is we're not coming together in a way of communication in a lot of different ways as communities. If I want something to be different in regard to Pride, it's how we all communicate as a whole, because we all need to do that a lot better so we can get people to understand the many, many, many different nuanced parts of details and information and what we need to know about minorities. Like, I'm a cis gay man, I'm white, I'm lucky, I'm privileged, and a lot of other people in our communities aren't. But the only way we can get people understanding that is to be able to hear and listen. And the only way that's going to happen is through communication.
And what would be your advice to young Dean Arcuri?
Don't stop. Don't stop. I had that period in life when you're going to constantly hit walls where you're told no. Constantly be told, oh, you shouldn't look like this or be like this. Constantly be told, do something else or do this. As long as set your direction and work towards it. If things don't work out, then they don't work out. And that's the life that everyone has. And everyone has the life that they choose. But figure out something you want to do and work towards it and keep on going. If you hit a roadblock, it's a bump in the road, but it's not the end of the journey.
Bumps are not too bad. Keep praying.